Good day everyone! Today you are going to learn about multiplying decimals. Multiplication of decimals is just similar on multiplication of whole numbers. Here are the steps in multiplying decimals. First, you are going to multiply like the whole numbers. Second, you are going to count the number of decimal places in the factors. And the last one, you are going to affix the decimal point in the product as determined by the number of decimal places of the factors. Let's have an example on multiplying decimal by whole number. 1 and 86 hundredths times 6. Okay, so what is the first step that we are going to do? We are going to multiply like the whole numbers. Okay, so 6 times 6, the answer is 36, carry up 3. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 3, the answer is 51, carry up 5. Okay, 1 times 6, the answer is 6, plus 5, the answer is 11. Okay, now, next is we are going to count the number of decimal places in the factors. Okay, so when we say decimal places, those are the numbers at the right of the decimal point. Yung mga numbers or decimal place na nasa kanan ng decimal point. Okay, so how many decimal places here? Meron po tayong 2 decimal places. Okay? How about here? Meron po ba tayong decimal point? Wala po. So, ibig sabihin, no decimal place. Okay. So, the next step is we are going to affix the decimal point in the product as determined by the number of decimal places of the factors. Okay? So, kung 2 decimal places po siya dyan, dapat 2 decimal places ang nandun sa product. Okay. So, paano gagawin? So, we are going to count 2 decimal places from the right to the left. So, 1, 2. So, nandito po ang decimal point. Again, 2 decimal places. 1, 2. So, andun po ang ating decimal point. So, therefore, the product is 11 and 16 hundredths. Okay, another example. 17 and 5 hundredths times 35. So, again, what are we going to do? We are just going to multiply like the whole numbers. So, 5 times 5, the answer is 25, carry 2. 0 times 5, the answer is 0, plus 2, the answer is 2. 7 times 5, the answer is 35, carry up 3. Okay, so 1 times 5, the answer is 5, plus 3, the answer is 8. Okay, now, tapos na tayo sa 5, let's go to 3. So, ang 3 po ay nasa tens place. Ano po? So, ang 3 times 5 po ay 15. Dito natin ilalagay sa tens place. So, carry up 1. Okay, ano pong gagawin natin dito? So, we are just going to put 0. Okay, next, 1 times 0, the answer is 0. 0 times 3 rather is 0, plus 1, the answer is 1. Okay, 7 times 3, the answer is 21. Carry up 2. Okay, 1 times 3, the answer is 3, plus 2, the answer is 5. So, dito natin ilalagay. Okay, now let's add. 5 times 0, 5 plus 0, the answer is 5. 2 plus 5, the answer is 7. 5 plus 1, the answer is 6. 8 plus 1, the answer is 9. 5, just bring down the 5. Okay? So, now, what is the next thing that we are going to do? We are going to count the number of decimal places in the factors. Okay? So, again, pag sinabi natin decimal places, those are the numbers at the right of the decimal point. So, ito pong decimal point. How many decimal places? There are 2 decimal places. Okay, next sa baba naman, may decimal point ba tayo nakikita? Wala po. So, wala po siyang decimal place. Ano po? Okay, so, the next thing that we are going to do, we are going to affix the decimal point in the product as determined by the number of decimal places of the factors. So, 2 decimal places lang naman siya. So, therefore, mayroon tayo ditong 2 decimal places sa product. So, count natin ng 2 decimal places from the right. Dito, sa kanan. 1, 2. So, mapupunta doon ang decimal point. Again, 2 decimal places, count natin from right to left. So, 1, 2. So, ayun po ang decimal point niya. So, therefore, our product, the product of these numbers is 596 and 75 hundredths. Okay, let's have multiplying decimals. 5 and 7 tenths times 2 and 1 tenth. Okay, so we are just going to multiply like the whole numbers. Okay, so 7 times 1, the answer is 7. 5 times 1, the answer is 5. Okay, next is 2 times 7, the answer is 14. Carry up 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1, the answer is 11. Okay, so just put 0 here. Okay, let's add. 7 plus 0, the answer is 7. 5 plus 4, the answer is 9. Just bring down 11. Okay, next is, we are just going to count the decimal places. Count the number of decimal places in the factors. Okay, so dito po, ilan po ang decimal places? 1. Okay, 1 decimal place. Okay, dito naman po sa baba, 1 decimal place lang din. Ano po? So, next is, we are going to affix the decimal point in the product as determined by the number of decimal places of the factors. So, sabi natin, 2 ang decimal places lahat-lahat. So, dapat 2 decimal place dito sa product. Okay, so, let's count 2 decimal places from the right to the left. So, 1, 2. So, dito po ang ating decimal point. Again, 2 decimal places lahat-lahat. So, 1, 2. So, yun na po ang decimal point. So, therefore, our product is 11 and 97 hundredths. Another example, 61 hundredths times 9 tenths. Okay, so again, we are just going to multiply like the whole numbers. So, 1 times 9, the answer is 9. 6 times 9, the answer is 54. Carry up 5. Okay, 0 times 9 is 0, plus 5, the answer is 5. Okay, next, 0 na po ito. Ano po? So, wala na siyang value. So, pwede na natin siyang hindi i-multiply. Ano po? So, next is we are just going to count the number of the decimal places in the factors. Okay, so ilan po ang decimal places natin dito? So, meron po tayong 2 decimal places. Ayan, 1, 2. Okay, dito naman po sa baba, meron po ilang decimal place? Isa lang. So, 1 decimal place. Again, dito po sa taas ay 2 decimal places. 1, 2. Dito naman sa baba, isa lang po. 1 decimal place. So, therefore, ilang decimal places lahat? So, there are 3 decimal places lahat-lahat. So, we are just going to count 3 decimal places from the right to the left. So, 1, 2, 3. So, ayan po. Nandito po ang decimal point. Again, 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. So, ayan po ang decimal point. So, therefore, the product, okay, we are just going to put 0 there. Okay, our product is 549 thousandths. Okay? Another example, 12 and 34 hundredths times 7 and 4 tenths. Okay, so again, we are just going to multiply like the whole numbers. 4 times 4, the answer is 16. Carry up 1. 3 times 4, the answer is 12. Plus 1, the answer is 13. Carry up 1. 2 times 4, the answer is 8. Plus 1, the answer is 9. Okay. 1 times 4, the answer is 4. Okay, next, tapos na tayo sa 4. Okay, and then next is 7. 7 times 4, the answer is 28. Carry up 2. Okay, 7 times 3, the answer is 21, plus 2, the answer is 23. Carry up 2. Okay, so 2 times 7, the answer is 14, plus 2, the answer is 16. Carry up 1. Okay, so 1 times 7, the answer is 7, plus 1, the answer is 8. Okay, now let's add. Just put 0 here. Okay, 6 plus 0, the answer is 6. 3 plus 8, the answer is 11. Carry 1. 1 plus 9, the answer is 10. Plus 3, the answer is 13. Carry 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 6, the answer is 11. Carry 1. 1 plus 8, the answer is 9. So, next, what are we going to do? We are going to count the decimal places in the factors. So, dito po, ilan ang decimal places? 1, 2. So, there are 2 decimal places. Okay, dito naman sa baba, ilan ang decimal places? Okay, 1 lamang. 1 decimal place. Ano po? Okay, now, how many decimal places are there in all? So, there are 3 decimal places. So, next is, we are going to affix the decimal point in the product as determined by the number of decimal places in the factors. So, sabi natin, 3 decimal places daw dito. So, 3 daw. 3 din dito ang decimal places natin sa product. Okay, so let's count 3 decimal places from the right. 1, 2, 3. So, nandito po ang ating decimal point. Again, 3 decimal places. So, 1, 2, 3. So, ayun po ang decimal point. Okay, so therefore, the product is 91 and 316 thousandths. Okay?